This is the 2018 VDO Quilt Show, and we're going to show you some of the quilts that have been made by the ladies in the sewing room. My name is Arlene Adams, and I'm one of the monitors in the sewing room. This quilt is made by Andy Noyes. It's a block of the week. She was really impressed with the fabrics and followed her theme. This quilt was made by Sue DeBoer, and she hand quilted it. It is a total piece of fabric that she cut up and rearranged for the way she wanted it. Sue Hodder made this one, and this is Twisted Rainbows. And actually, most of the pieces were left from other quilts, so she used little pieces to do it. The lower one is made by Shirley Smith, and it's all salvage, your little printed edges.
Oh, isn't that fun?
This quilt is made by Karen Williamson, and she's called it Charmed, I'm sure. It was from a charm pack. And Jane Barras made this one, and it was a kit that she purchased years ago, and she finally finished it. Lavisa Markides made this one, and it's called Scrappy Butterflies, but I don't see that many butterflies in it, but there are a few.
There are some butterflies.
This one is a convergence, and many of us took a class on this years ago. And Brenda Aiken finished hers. Carol Bernard made this one. Very, very good. Ruth Quamstead made this one, and she's calling it Starry Nights.
Do you have a card or anything? Yes. I'll write it down for the season.
She also made this one. It's Block of the Month. Except down here, instead of a month, we do it in a week. This t-shirt quilt is called Soccer Memories, and Sue DeBoer made this one. Some grandchild is going to love this. Ruth Quamstead made this one, and it's called Sunrise Stag. She loves animals. And then we have a whole collection of little pieces.
This jacket was missing for weeks. It was in my closet.
We had a class on the flower ones. They're actually centerpieces for tables. Welcome one. And we had a class. We had a class on this lower one too. That one and that one. Marva Peterson made this one. It's called Ice Crystals. It is very striking, yes.
Yes.
It is. Julie Birdsloff made this one, and she's calling it Goose Lodge in Minnesota. Guess where she's from. Mary Lyons made this one. It's called Windmills. Quilt was made by Bev McLean, and she's from Canada. She really loved this one. This quilt was made for Vicki Wheatley, and she put in it all the different books that her family liked. So it has lots of interesting labels on it. The labels were done on the embroidery machine. These two quilts that you're seeing next are all machine embroidered. Sue Harkis made the first one, and Bev McLean made the second one. Arlene Minsky made this one, and she really worked for a long time on this one, getting all the different themes in it.
Well, see, Bob came down to bring me the machine. He just carried it.
Diane Silvestri made this one, and she's calling it Wine and Roses.
So when Elaine was here, she saw him bring them over, so she went to the sewing room where I was, and it was unlocked, and she just brought a couple of bags of stuff over.
Judy Rad made this one. It's very different and very interesting.
And they said, oh, well, we'll carry some stuff over. So here we are. Here we are. I got over here. I walked through that. There's a Valentine and it's the early version.
This one was made by Mary Lyons, and she calls it Vineyard Trails. Very dominant. This is another quilt by Andy Noyes. And it's called a BQ4, Basic Quilting 4.
Little table for sale.
This quilt was made by me. And I saw this quilt at a quilt show and decided I had to make it.
Now, was this paper piecing?
It's paper piecing.
Okay.
We just thought we'd keep this for the candles.
These three quilts that you'll see next are all up for silent auction. And the proceeds from it will help support our two charities, both Project Linus and Quilts for Vets.
Okay, well, where do you want and then just here,
Okay, this one is it's a triple 4-patch. Very good. All those little squares. Oh. Marva Peterson did this one, and it's 20 in stars. I like the little
Ducks.
birds. I think it's supposed to be Tweety Bird. Arlene Minsky made this, Scrappy Stars. And this one's called String X by Elaine Stensrud. And this is another Scrappy Stars by Vicki Wheatley. It's surprising how difference in colors makes a whole lot of
Yes.
difference. And Heather Johns made this one, Pyramids of Night. This one is called Nana's Garden, and Marion Blagsfeld made it. Paula Hinkle made this one. It's called Done LOL. The quilt is so long we had to pin the bottom over there. Ardell Ender made this one, and it's a strip quilt. All different widths. Karen Lobent made this one, and it's called Mackenzie's Garden. Mary Lyon made this bright one. She's calling it String Me Along. Krisha Donovan made this one. She's calling it Scrappy Zigzag. One of our challenges this year was to make things with scraps, and so there's a lot of scrappy quilts in here. Shirley Smith made this one, and it's called Stash Buster. And it too has a lot of scraps from other quilts that she has made. Dottie Starnes made this one. She's calling it Flowers in the Garden. Sue Hodder made this one. She's calling it Christmas Stars. It was actually a block of the week again that she changed the directions on. Paula Henkel made this one, and it's called And on the Farm. Jan Sheldon made this, and it's called Spice of Life. To me, it looks more like fish, fish, fish. Which I like to go do fishing. This one's My Carpenter's Wheel, and I made this one. There are actually 12 flying geese in each of those patterns. Grace Williams made this one. She's calling it Basket of Cherries. Little tiny cherries in the sashing. Lavisa Markides made this one, and she's calling it Stack and Black Extravaganza. Yeah, Stack and Black Extravaganza. Paula Hinkle made this one, and she's calling it Celebration Time. That's very different. Julie Burzloff made this one, and she's calling it Courage and Loyalty. Diane Silvestri made this one, and she's calling it in honor of Don. And all of those patterns are from shirts that he used to wear. Jan Sheldon made this one, and it's turning 20 again. Christy Schleisman made this one, and she's calling it Then and Now. And Heather Johns made this one, and she named it, let me see again, Blended Beauty. There's another one by Heather Johns, and this one's called Isabel's German Quilt. Really very basic quilt. Elaine Stensrud made this one. It's called Quartered Stripe Quilt. She will be teaching this one this month. And here's another one that's the same. And Bev McLean is calling it Kaleidoscope. 2 different colors, sets. It looks totally different. And actually a third one, Brenda Aiken, and this is hers. Loretta Radcliffe made this one, and she did the Minnesota shop hop and pulled all these colors. Arlene Minsky did this one, and it's Oh My Stars. Lorraine Becker did this one. It's called Crown Broil. I wonder why. Those are all bags that people have saved for her. And this was the block of the week in 2013 by Grace Williams. Carolyn Ballard did this one. There's no name up for it. She hasn't named it. Diane Silvestri did this one. She's calling it Chartreuse. Krisha Donovan did this one. She's calling it Double Double 4-patch. It's an interesting way of doing it. And Lavisa Markides did this one. Pat's Purple Hanky Panky. We do a lot of the hanky pankies for Project Linus. Patricia Kensley did this one. Churn Dash. Okay. Andy Noyes did this one. Shades of Batik. Judy Rad did this one, and it's Modern Squares. Elaine Stensrud did this one, and it's Oasis.
Okay.
This one is made by Paula Hinkle, and this is called Chickadee. This one was made by Jane Barras, and she's calling it Mother Goose Fun. Many of these children's quilts will be donated later to Project Lawrence. And Paula Bohm calls this Balloons and Bears.
All right.
Paula Bohm made this one, and she's calling it Little Miss Chair. And she made this one, and it is Bunnies and Bears. And she also made this one, and it is called At the Zoo. And Margaret Peterson made this one. It's Baby Pink. This one is Lizards on the Nile by Paula Bohm again. And then Arlene Minsky made this one. It's called A First Effort. And it was her first effort at using our new long arm.
Oh.
And then we have a whole bunch of table runners by Janice Vitt, Ruby Hall, Elaine Stensrud, Doris Wilcox, Brenda Aiken, Julie Burzloff, Carla McCoy. And these two were made by Brenda Aiken. Actually, those three. Andy Noyes made those two. Grace Williams made these two. Marley, Marion Shantz, and Paula Bohm. Paula Bohm did this one, and it's called Rail Fence. Barbara Peterson did this one, and she's calling it Moscato d'Asti. Oh, in honor of the wine-colored fabric. Vicki Wheatley did this one, and it's Kylie's. Tiffany. Jan Sheldon did this one, and it's called Block by Block. And Bev Borth did this one in Colors of the Fall. She did get fall colors. Vicki Wheatley did this one, and she's calling it Boomerang.
am I supposed to sew?
Okay.
Sonia Farmer did this one. It's called Kelly's Surprise, and she also made 2 pillow shams that are hung up there to go with the quilt. Then we come to the Christmas section, and Grace Williams has the first one and the second one, and Marva Peterson has the next one, and then the Feathered Christmas is mine. Christmas tree. And Rhonda Farmer made that one. It's similar to the ones that were down the other way. And Grace Williams made that one. Log cabin wreath. And we have a Christmas table topper. And a rail fence. Then down below we have a Christmas tree skirt by Paula Mame. Cindy Snow made the little table topper.
Okay.
Barbara Ritchie made this one, and she's calling it Freedom. And then we have Four Seasons. And then we have one of those little ones, What Was I Thinking, by Audrey Schreier. Jane Barras made another tiny one. And Bev McLean, Scrappy Strips. The butterfly was made by Alice Aiden. She did a good job. That's hard. That's not exactly easy to do. Jane Barras did Blessings, and below it was Rail Fence by Lavisa Markides. Lavon White did this one. No, Lavon Weeder did this one. 60 Degrees. And this one is called Bright Star. I did that one. That again is all foundation pieced. And Lavon did the next one also. And Pat Alberts did this one, Flowers in Bloom. We have Carolyn Olson did the turtles. And Arlene Minsky did this one, Garden Patch. Marlene Bloom, this is another block of the week. Very interesting way of putting it together. Becky Moss did this, it's Thimbleberries. Good morning. Grace Williams did this one. It's blue and white scraps. Betty Lowry did this one. She's calling it This and That. Judy Rad did this one. It's Blue Block Road. Excuse me, Blue Brick Road. Arlene did this one, and it's Ascend. Ruby Hall did this one. She's calling it Garage Sale. Maybe that's where she got the fabric. This is Kelly's Sampler by Sonia Farmer. And the last one on this aisle is by Heather Johns, and she's calling it Arizona. Andy Noyes did this one, and she's calling it Flaming Circle Quilt. Ruth Plumstead did this one. She's calling it Log Cabin. It is a log cabin. I've done many of them. Marion Blagsfeld, and it's a star for a song for spring. All her flowers in it. And we have 4 small ones. This one's by Andy Noyes, and it's a convergence. And the one below it is another convergence by Marion Schatz. Sharon Kilmer did this one, and it's a diamond log cabin. And Jane Barras did this one, Star Fun. Here's another Lone Star by Jane Barras. And Mary Ann Smith did this one, it's called Diamond. Jane Barras, this is Arizona. This is another block of the week. Diane Silvestri did this. It's called My Garden. Lorna Kapeniuk, and I hope I said her name right, did this Aurora Borealis. Sure looks like it.
Yes.
Paula Kinsley did this log cabin. Differently arranged and very good. Linda Janko did this. It's called Picnic Time. Adding rickrack made quite a difference. This one is by Brenda Aiken, and she's calling it Illusions.
Yeah, she does. Margaret. So, this is Margaret. So you get the front door.
Vicki Wheatley did this one, and it's called Multiple Madness.
And you'll be on the south. And there's maps on the back.
Vicki Wheatley did this one, and it's Sporty Diamonds, all the different sports.
Walk around. You could just. Good morning.
Paula Hinkle made this one, and she's calling it Bargello.
Okay, thank you. And what's your name?
Krisha. Of course it's Krisha.
Krisha Donovan did this one, and it's called Prismatic Star.
Oh, I'm walking in front. It's taping.
Elaine Stensrud did this Circle of Friendship, and she also has 2 pillows on in the small items to match it.
How are you?
Beverly Bortz did this one, Black Diamond. Very, very striking. Paula Bain did this, Valley Star. Margaret Stahl did this, and it's Alaska Photo Album. Very, very good.
Isn't that striking, isn't it though?
Sue DeBoer did this quilt, and it's called Happy.
That's a good.
Scrappy. Oh, Happy Scrappy Pinwheel. I'll get closer to it so I can see what they are. Arlene Minsky did this one. Sports version. Another Convergence one by Lavisa Markides. As I said, we took the class on it. The top one is Jane Barras, another pinwheel. Arizona Express, I did that one. And the lower one is Salamander Square. Looks to me more like geckos, but that's okay. Top one is Linda Neary, and this one is painted on fabric. And this Utterly Sweet Buttercup. Linda's going to be doing a demonstration on that too today. And then Paula Hinkle did this one, and it's Country Fair. Oh, County Fair, not Country Fair. Janice Fitt did this one, it's Charge It Up. And the last large quilt is called Rail Fence, and it's by Jerry Guggenheim.
This is a grand conclusion to the quilt show.